Welcome to Captain Handlebar, and this is Vinyl is Dead. Okay, vinyl's not really dead. This is just my clever way to segue right into my Grateful Dead collection. So I've got some notes, so I might be looking down and reading these on occasion, so just bear with me. I've got a lot of Grateful Dead albums. So the first one on the list, 1967's The Grateful Dead, or San Francisco's Grateful Dead. The band at the time was Bob Weir, Pigpen, Bill the drummer, Jerry, Captain Trips Garcia, and Phil Lesh. This was on Warner Brothers. Funny thing is this album was owned by some guy named Jerry. So yeah, that's their first album. Second album, Grateful Dead, Anthem of the Sun. Now this album's pretty clever in the fact that they spent a lot of studio time. They took clips from the studio, clips from the live show, and they kind of mixed them together. So on this one you get both a live and a studio album, which is kind of cool. I thought it was kind of interesting that they would even do that. So yeah, Anthem of the Sun. Their third album is 1969's, pronounced Mox Oa. This is recorded twice. They recorded it once on 8-track, and then 16-track came available. So they decided to ditch the 8-track, deleted, kind of trashed everything, and re-recorded everything on 16-track. Now this posed a financial burden on the band. They became further in debt to Warner Brothers. At the time, this album cost, what was it, $180,000, which in today's money would equal to a little over $1 million. So yeah, cover's really cool there. So anyway, this is their third album. This is their first live release, Live Dead. Also on the Warner Brothers label. It's got Dark Star, Saint Stephen, the 11, Love Live, Love Light. Really good live album. Their first ever live album. Then these next two albums they kind of recorded back to back, and they both have a like an Americana style to them. So that first one is Working Man's Dead. This one was released in June of 1970. And the follow-up to this one, which is American Beauty, came out in November of 1970. American Beauty, great album. It's got awesome songs. Truckin', Box of Rain, Friend of the Devil. It's a good pickup. Flip open my page here. This one is Skull and Roses, or simply titled just Grateful Dead. It's a cool gatefold. The Grateful Dead have become synonymous with skulls and roses. This is also a live album, I believe. Yeah. Second double live album, several lead and background vocals were overdubbed. Interesting fact. This is another live album. Most of their albums are live. They've become sort of known for their live performances. They also go as far as to let people record their performances. So this one is Europe 72. It was recorded between April and May of 1972 in Europe. November 5th, 1972 is when it was released. I'll take pictures or show it behind me. This one was the first album to contain versions of songs Jack Straw, Brown-Eyed Women, China Cat, Sunflower, and I Know You're Rider. This next one, sort of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? A group came in and recorded one of their shows in 1966 and then released their live albums without the Dead's sort of like backing. The Dead probably had no clue that they were going to release them, so they had no input. So this one's on a label called Pride. But this was from recorded around 1966, and it was released in 1972 as well. This one is known as Bear's Choice. The History of the Grateful Dead bears choice. It was released June 13th, 1973. The title references the sound guy's name. His name's Owsley Bear Stanley. And this was intended to start a series. This one even says Volume 1. Volume 1 is the only one. So yeah, pretty interesting. Now, with all of their obligations to Warner Brothers up, they started their own label. So this is the first one on their own label. And this is Wake of the Flood. This one came out in October 1973. And it's got the Grateful Dead label on the back. Again, another great album. First one on their record label. So Warner Brothers had at that point lost the Dead, so they decided to release the greatest hits of the Grateful Dead, Skeletons in the Closet. Wake of the Flood did well, so they thought, hey, might as well capitalize off of them doing well and release this. The artwork was not chosen by the Dead, it was chosen by the record company. So that's pretty interesting. This one was released in 1974, so shortly after Wake of the Flood. This next one is another one from the Grateful Dead collection, is from Mars Hotel, June 27th, 1974. Now on the back here, it's got a picture, and this very top, if you flip it upside down and read it in a mirror, it says Ugly Rumors, so that's pretty interesting. And then of course the band is all dressed up like space aliens, or I don't know, weird, cool stuff. So anyway, from the Mars Hotel. This next one is Blues for Allah, 1975, produced by the Grateful Dead, also on the Grateful Dead label. This is actually a really cool album artwork. And then Grateful Dead, Steal Your Face. This one came out in 1976. Another double album. From their live shows, a bunch of artwork. And then of course the Steal Your Face logo. Another good one. This next one is Terrapin Station. This one came out in 1977. Most of the Dead's artwork was done by Kelly and Mouse Studios. There's that, and then on the back there's a cool little, you know, one-eyed skull. Now this is another Warner Brothers greatest hits. What a long strange trip it's been. Again, the Dead did not pick out any of the fonts or the image of the skeleton. This is another sort of live album. Gatefold with the band's photos and whatnot. This one's actually probably my favorite compilation album. It's got Cosmic Charlie, Truckin', Black Peter, Born Cross-Eyed, Ripple, Dark Star, High Times, Saint Stephen, Jack Straw, Me and My Uncle Tennessee Jed. I could listen to this one all day. It's a great album. So after the Dead were kind of done doing their own label for a while, they went to Arista Records. Clive Davis said, "Hey, we'll take care of you." So they went. So they came out with this one, which is Shakedown Street. This one is 1978. This one's known as the Disco Dead. They kind of got into that disco craze, funk, fusion, rock. So yeah, 1978. This next one is Go to Heaven, also on the Arista label. This one came out in 1980. Warner Brothers came out with another Grateful Dead. Well, actually, this one's kind of funny. I guess this one's Arista and Pear Records, not Warner Brothers. I saw the brown and I thought it was Warner Brothers. Oh, now I know why I thought it. Look, It's in a Warner Brothers sleeve. I gotta change that. So anyway, this is another bunch of Grateful Dead live stuff. Bunch of great songs on it as well. Grateful Dead, the Dead set. Next one in my Grateful Dead list. This one came out in 1981. More Live Dead. In the Dark. Now this one had actually their first real chart topper with Touch of Grey. Also has Hell in a Bucket, West LA Fell Away, Tons of Steel, Black Muddy River. This is a really good studio album. I mean, Touch of Grey put them in the 80s pretty well good. This one's from 1987. And the last of their studio albums that I have is Built to Last. They're building a little card house. This one came out in 1989. So that was all my labeled Grateful Dead, or all my Grateful Dead that was printed on some sort of a label. These ones are my bootlegs. Keep Your Sunny Side Up, artwork by Chuck, whatever that means. It's also featuring New Riders of the Purple Sage. Got this one, Grateful Dead on Mammary or Mother Records. This one's got Know Your Rider, Casey Jones, and Uncle John's Band. It's really cool. This one doesn't even have a cover, but it's got Sunshine Daydream, Sing Me Back Home, Mama Tried for the other one, and Cryptical Envelope. And this one's on Whole Records or whatever. Yeah, Volume 2. It's got Truckin' on one side. So anyway, this is a really good one. And this one's probably one of my favorites. Nights of the Living Dead. It's got some cool artwork on the back. Or a cool picture of the dead when they were the Warlocks. This one's got some good songs on it. It's got Too Hard to Handle and We Bid You Goodnight. Anyway, that was my Dead collection. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and comment and subscribe. I'd also like to thank all my new subscribers. Next week, next Wednesday, look out, mark your calendars, I'm doing the Beatles Butcher cover. Fun facts about it, why it's the holy grail of most album collectors. And I will catch you on the B-sides. Thanks for tuning in.